What's up guys, welcome to a new tutorial series that I'm going to be doing. This one is going to be about player locomotion, and I'm going to be doing uncovering systems that normally you'll see in games like sprinting, crouching and aiming down the sights, stuff like that. And today's video I'm going to start by sprinting because that's probably the easiest technique to do. So but I'm in a third-person template using blueprints obviously. But you can see that I already have this opened over here, and I already have done the code. I recorded the tutorial, but then I realized the mic wasn't recording. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to be uploading a video like with no sound. I already did that once and people didn't like it. So I'm going to record everything again, but instead of deleting the code, I'm just going to explain everything step by step, and hopefully it will be quicker and it will be the same for you guys. We're gonna still understand what I did. So let's get right into it. So find your third-person blueprint, your third-person character on your blueprints folder. You can double click that open. First thing that we're gonna do is go into our character movement, and we're going to set our max walk speed. That's gonna be over here on the character movement, and set our max walk speed to 200. So instead of being running all the time, we're gonna start by walking. And then if we want to sprint, we're going to do that through code. So let's go ahead and start this. So right click and get your left shift. So that's going to be the key that I'm going to be using. You can use whatever key you want. So let's start by doing when we press the key. So when we press the key, we're going to want to just get a branch. So we're going to be checking if we have enough stamina. But for the stamina stuff, I'm going to need you to create three variables, sorry. So create a new variable, make it a float, call it current stamina, and set it to 100. You can create another one, a float, again set it to 100, so that's going to be the max stamina that we're going to be able to get. Then just create another variable, set that one to a boolean, and leave it false and just call it sprinting, because you're going to need to store that information. And then on that branch that you created, just get your current stamina and check, well, do we have more than 20 stamina? If we have more than 20 stamina, we're going to be able to start sprinting. So on the true, you drag your sprinting and you set it up, then you toggle it to true. Then we're going to need to actually set our max walk speed to our sprinting speed. That I'm going to be using 600. So get your character movement and then set max walk speed, drag from it, set it to 600. And then you can just get a clear timer, because we're going to use timers to do increasing and decreasing our stamina values. Clear and invalidate timer by handle. Do not connect anything yet because you do not have the other stuff. And then just drag from it and do a set timer by event. So over here I'm going to set the time to 0.05. This is going to be how quickly our stamina drains. So the smaller the value, the quicker the stamina will drain. So I just set that to 0.05. And then I set it to looping. Drag from this event delegate thing and create a new custom event. Call it decrease stamina. So when we start this timer, we're going to decrease our stamina. Get your current stamina, and we're going to decrease -1. This is going to be the value of each time this timer triggers. We're going to decrease 1 stamina. And then I'm going to drag from the -1 and type in a clamp float. This is going to limit our stamina to be between the minimum and the max value. The minimum being 0 and the max being your max stamina. So just drag the variable and connect it up. And then from this return value, you can just set your current stamina. Again, connect this up. Then we're going to do a check. Drag from your current stamina over here in the set and say, well, is it smaller or equal to 0? If it is, drag a branch. And then we're going to need to stop sprint. So if we run out of stamina, we want to stop sprinting. And you can just create this event. So let's go back here and go into just down here of the left shift, right click, create a new custom event and call it stop sprint. And you can just go back up here and call it in. So just type in stop sprint and call the function, connect it when it's true. And now you can actually make when we release the left shift. So when we release the left shift, we want to stop sprinting. So after this stop sprint, you want to set is sprinting to false, because we want to stop sprinting. So boom, set it. set it to false, and then connect the release into that setter boolean. And because we want to stop sprinting when we release the key and when this event is called, so we want both of those to be connected. And then boom, as the same thing up here, you can just copy and paste this, so we can set our max walk speed. I'm going to set it to 200. That's the default max walk speed to actually walk. And then I'm going to do a little delay. This delay is so we don't want to regain our stamina right away. We just want to, we want to wait a little bit, and then we start getting our breath back and our stamina back. I made this a second, but you can make this how much time you want. Then from it, we're going to do a branch. And this branch, well, we're just going to check if we are sprinting. Because, we can quickly release and then press again. And then if we start sprinting again, but this delay hasn't actually completed, we're going to start sprinting. But then we're going to be triggering this, which will gain stamina. So what will happen is you'll be sprinting while gaining stamina, because we'll actually be sprinting before this delay actually ended. So you want to make sure that we actually are not sprinting. So just get your sprinting, boom, drag from it to a branch, and from false you're gonna want to Control C, Control V, the clear timer, and actually connect this handle to this timer up here. And then you want to, from over here, set a timer by event. And this is going to be how fast do we recover our stamina. So I make it a little bit slower, so I made it 0.1, and then actually loop it. And then from the return value, connect it up to this clear timer up here that doesn't have a target yet. And then from this event, drag from it again, create a new custom event, boom, and call it increase stamina. And now we basically do the same thing we do up here, but a little bit, instead of using a minus, we use a plus. So get your current stamina from over here, do a plus float, plus 1, and then just from there you do a clamp float again up here. The minimum is going to be 0, the max is going to be your max stamina. Drag from the return value and set your current stamina as we did up there. But this one is actually like this, so we do not need to check anything, because we're going to want to regain our stamina until we have our max stamina. Then this won't do anything. And yeah, that's everything for the code. The only thing that I did is that I gone up here and get an event tick, so we can actually see our current stamina. Just drag from it, do a print string, and the duration actually made it 0.01, so it only shows one string every frame, instead of doing this last 1 second. We will get like a list of giving us the same number. So I just drag the current stamina into our in string, and this node is automatically created. And now if we compile and save and actually play, you're gonna get our little string up there. So it shows 100. That's our current stamina. You can see that we walk. Once you press the shift, the left shift, you're gonna start sprinting and your stamina will drop. Once it gets to 0, you stop sprinting, and you can try and start sprinting before 20. It doesn't work. You can regain back your breath a little bit. Then if you start sprinting again, you go down again, and etc. Now obviously these values that I put over here, the max stamina, this over here on the timers, that's basically how quick you regain and lose stamina. You can adjust those to whatever you want. And if you want, you can actually right click on these, promote to variable, and call this decrease stamina, I guess, rate. There you go. And you can actually have this over here on the variables. Might be easier for you to get there, so it's gonna preserve the value 2.05. You can actually do the same thing on the other event, promote to variable, make this increase stamina rate. Again, there you go. We can make this be whatever you want. So by having this on over here exploited on variables, you can actually just go over here to the list and change these, instead of having to do, find the timers over here in the graph and actually changing them there. And you can also promote this delay, so the duration, promote to variable, and you can just call this gain breath delay. and you can also set that to whatever you want. It's going to give the default value to 1. So yeah, I think that's everything for the code. As I said in the next video, I'm probably going to make the player just like be able to aim down the sights and like you know, get a camera a little bit closer to the shoulder and actually get a nice angle to when you aim down the sights. You can actually, you know, be able to look forward to you instead of having your character in the way. But we're gonna take a look at that in the next video. If you guys have any doubts or you want me to do something specific in the series, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.